If you haven't heard, I recently launched a Patreon with 6 different tiers of support, including gameplay analysis, video commissions, and coaching. So please go check it out. Also, don't forget to use the code plugin at unfunstuff.com to save 5% off your order. And if you've got new players signing up for the UGN, my referral code is ACE. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All these are great ways to help support the channel, and I really appreciate it. Every little bit really does help when it comes to the YouTube game. So thank you very much for your support, and thank you to my patrons for making this video possible. Enjoy the video, guys.
What a maneuver!
The Ace is back, and I have a new adventure I want to share with all of you. Recently on the Ace Maneuvers community Discord, I've been posting about a multiplayer format for the Universes card game that I'm calling the Ace's Highlander format. For those of you who are familiar with Commander from Magic the Gathering, you're going to notice a lot of similarities, but for those of you who are not, let me break it down for you in this video. So the decks are going to be 65 card minimum, 100 card maximum for My Hero Academia's version of this format, and 100 cards exactly for the retro version. This is going to include your starting character, and the reason for these numbers is the My Hero format doesn't have as many cards, simply put. One of the reasons I haven't started this project earlier is I was hoping to get to a point where we could play 100 card singleton without the decks feeling super samey, but you know, to follow the symbol chaining rules, it's going to be pretty difficult for decks to kind of reach that number. There's only a few symbols where I'd feel really good even putting 80 cards all together and an U void symbol. So I decided to go with 65 cards so that way we could keep the Highlander element, the singleton element in this form. So that means that there's going to be only one copy of a card per deck. The exception to this rule is extra character cards needed to make your starting character function, and any card named in your character text can be played out of 4 of, assuming the card itself doesn't limit it in some other way, i.e. Spell Circle from Retro, and as long as a copy of that card is not your ace card to avoid confusion. So, you know, this is a pretty simple rule. This is the 100 card singleton format that a lot of people are familiar with, and this is how we're going to allow it to be a no ban list format. Now there's definitely some outliers, there's definitely some cards that I have my eye on, but this is a custom casual format, so hopefully the social contract of your playgroup is going to allow people to sit down and kind of discuss, you know, what power levels they want, what interactions they do or don't want, you know, things like that could be different between playgroups. So right now I'm going with no ban list. Hopefully if someone's really being an issue, all 3 players can team up on that one player and solve the issue in the game. Other than that, I'm going to have all errata in effect strictly because I don't want to pick through functional errata and power level errata, and so while it might seem weird to have no ban list but keep errata in effect, it's just easier and more simple to have cards that are being played the same way they're currently being played in this form. So all errata are in effect, but there is no ban list because this is a Eternal style format, and this is a way to play with those cards that you might not have a way to play with currently. Keeping up with the Commander comparisons, all cards must share at least one resource symbol with your starting character. Important to note that this means that even in the My Hero version of this format, you can multi-symbol as long as you follow the normal rules for symbol chaining, which simply put means that when you go to play a card, it must share at least one resource symbol with every card in your card pool already and your starting character. All players' maximum health is doubled. With multiplayer formats, it just makes sense to increase the health, and doubling it just is the easiest way to do that. In this format, you can attack anyone. When you go to play an attack, before you make the check, you have to target a player and say who you're going to be attacking. Only the attacker and the defender can play enhances, which is mostly for time's sake, and board states can get ridiculously complicated. So my effort to reduce that stress is to say that the enhanced step is between only those 2 players, but everyone can play responses. You can block for anyone unless you're the attacker, so of course you can't block your own attacks. Unfortunately, I have to specify that because someone from Reno will ask me if I put you can block for anyone in the rules, if that means you can block for the person you're attacking. So you can block for anyone unless you are the attacker yourself. And then you have to change all instances of both players to each player or every player, unless that ability is referencing vitality loss or health loss. So the idea of Cinder Convection or Dragon of Kyokugen Ryu burning everyone because your opponent didn't block is kind of lame and could potentially end the game. And, you know, that seemed to be a good threshold for, you know, a good barrier to put between those instances of both players. So an ability like Napalm Man will only work on the opponent that you're attacking, right? Cinder Convection will only burn you and the opponent that you're currently attacking. But then other abilities like the Dark One from Retro will have you choose a player. So that's a response that can happen at any time, basically, when you're not in the middle of an attack. So those abilities, you'll just have to target one player instead of hitting everyone. This means that a card like Chivalrous Competitor means that all 4 players draw a card, even though it's during an enhanced step between 2 players. And then let's get to the meat and bones of the format, the Ace card. The Ace card is basically your commander card. It has an Ace zone. And at the start of the game, after characters have been revealed, you're going to search your 99 card deck for one card and place it in your Ace zone. You can play your Ace card anytime it would be a legal play to do so, following all the normal rules. Note, this means that for action cards and abilities that say hand in brackets, those cards typically have to be in your hand to play abilities on them, and so they won't work from other zones. At the start of your combat phase, you can take your Ace card from the discard pile or remove from game pile, place it back in the Ace zone with a token on it that gives it +1 difficulty and +1 block model. This stacks like the commander tax, and there's no limit. So if this sounds like a way that you want to play the game, please feel free to join my Discord. I'll have a link down in the comments below pinned. I've got 2 channels. One is already for MHA decks for the Aces Highlander format, and then I've got retro decks for the Aces Highlander format. If you're someone who's been interested in standard, retro, old school Universes cards, but you know, it seems like a deep pool to dive into, this is a great way to just dip your toe in. This is a great way to experience, you know, single copies of cards at a time, and I think that's really great for the game. So this is also a low investment way, right? It's a multiplayer game. It's casual environment. You're not really trying to beat your opponent. You're trying to have fun. So I think that this is going to be a ton of fun to play with people on stream. I'm looking at every Saturday coming up, but I can't do it alone. I need you guys. I need opponents, right? It's a multiplayer format. So I'm really, really excited for this. I hope this takes off and really starts the discussion at the bare minimum about multiplayer formats. And I hope you guys have fun with it. So if you want to check it out, come watch the stream on Saturday. If you want to play against me, just reach out to me on the Discord in the channel, and I'll start a queue for people this Saturday. Anyways, I can't wait. I'm going to have so much fun building decks this week, and hopefully we have a ton of fun playing this Saturday. See you guys then. Peace out.